Hello, Lee. Delighted to be having a chat with you, with that fellow radio presenter here, Steve Evans.
Hi, Lee. You all right?
Hello. Yeah, not too bad. Yourselves?
Hey, I'm not too bad, but you're in. Let me get this straight. You're in Somerset, but you do your radio. You don't do it live. You do it. Not syndicate it, or do you do it on?
No, it's live. It is live.
Oh, right. I've picked up somewhere. I don't know where I read that you do it remotely.
Yeah, I do it from here. Where I'm sitting here now is where I do
Right.
it.
Okay. So are you in Somerset? Yeah.
Yep.
Right. First and foremost, tell us whereabouts you are in Somerset.
I'm in a little town called Frome.
Frome, as in yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't sure if that's where your paranormal group is something to do with that. I wasn't sure where the radio station's based from as well.
No, that's based in Red Roof.
Right. Okay.
In Cornwall.
See what I mean? How confusing it is.
So you do from home?
Yeah.
Internet radio then.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard of it as a program we use called Radio Jar.
Yes.
And it's so good to do remotely and stuff, and so easy to use. Well, I can do it anyway, so it's.
I understand now when you say you do it remotely because it's through this Radio Jar or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've not used it myself, but yeah. So what's it like in Somerset today? Is it as bad as in Liverpool and raining?
Yeah, and windy. It's we've had weather warnings for wind and everything today, so.
Oh yeah, we've got exactly the same, to be honest. Yeah, next 24 hours, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're battening down the hatches or whatever. Yeah.
It's cold out there.
You lived in Cornwall, didn't you, prior to Somerset?
I did. I lived in Camborne.
Right.
And I lived to tell the tale. So
I'm familiar with that. But how did you live the tale? How did you survive the tale about Chunky Monkey Disco? Tell us about Chunky Monkey Disco, because
I've actually got Chunky here. Do you want to see him?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. Hang on, he's here somewhere. I saw him the other day. Just got clips and stuff out. Here he is. Where is he? Oh, well, he's tangled up now with things. There he is.
There's a Chunky Monkey.
There he is. There's Chunky Monkey.
I'm guessing it was something to do with kids, was it?
Yeah. But basically, the name came across. I wanted to do a disco. So to can't do discos, and I didn't know what name to call myself. And my daughter had that puppet. He's Chunky Monkey the second. But my daughter had the original one, and I just looked at him one day and I thought, do you know what? Monkey, that's quite, I like that. And then of course, obviously I'm chunky, so that's like Chunky Monkey Disco. We've just put ourselves together.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I wanted a name so people wouldn't forget it.
Certainly done that, mate. Yeah.
Exactly. I could be doing, I used to work in like pubs and clubs in town in Camborne, and I used to have people come up to me and go, aren't you Chunky Monkey? And it's like, yeah. It works.
Brilliant.
Well,
it's memorable.
Fair enough. If it works, yeah, it's catchy. It works. That's good.
And he also had a little job as well, where if there was like shy children that didn't want to come on the dance floor or play games, he would then come across, get them on the dance floor, have a boogie with them and kind of things. And then the birthday boy or birthday girl would then also take Chunky to the dinner table, and they used to share their cake with him and chocolate and crisps and stuff.
So I take it when you moved, that all went by the wayside, or did you try and keep it on?
It did. I tried to, but it just obviously, COVID hit and everything, party just went out the window.
Wow. Follow that, Terry. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah. You told us that you're living in Frome. You set up a paranormal group there, Frome. So tell us about this.
That actually started off, basically, I just wanted people to share their spooky tales and their spooky pictures and stuff like that. And off the top of my head at the moment, I think there's over 650 people in that group. We've got Frome Paranormal Live, which has roughly got about the same. Yeah. And then we're also on TikTok now, and we're just under 6,000 followers.
Excellent.
That's pretty. How many?
6,000.
Wow. I had written down here 600. 6,000 is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's obviously we go to Shepton quite a lot, Shepton Prison. Yeah. And I always do a live there. and you can get like, well, I've noticed I've had a minimum of like 1,000 people watching at one time. And
hey, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I could end up looking at the numbers.
Really impressive. So when you say you go to the prison, go into a bit more detail. You mean outside the prison? And just explain. I think I know what you mean, but
yeah, no, this Shepton Mallet prison, you can go inside and outside, look at the cells, and have a little wander around and have a bit of fun in there and stuff. And that's what we do.
Right, okay.
You sent me a video clip with noises.
I did.
Noises coming down the steps when there's obviously nobody there. I tell you what, you wouldn't get many even near the place. I would have legged it, telling you.
And that video I sent you, it happened again a week later.
Oof.
Exactly the same time.
And you still go back there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a bit skeptical about it all, to be honest. But if you think it's there, that's fine. We're all entitled to our opinions. I'm not so sure, but Terry, I know, would run a mile.
I'll take your word for it and keep away, I think.
I get discount. I know it sounds a bit cheap. Right, there's no one there. Right, that's a bit... Can people hear this? I'm just going to hold the camera to Cody. I'm just going to have a little look. The only way they can get down is down them steps there, but then we would have seen them. There you go, there's another sign there. So you'll notice in a minute that the only way down back to the ground floor is this way. So if it was human, they would have had to walk past me and Cody and said, "Excuse me." So for us to hear what sounded like somebody walking up the steps, so they were going up onto the upper level, and then it sounded like they were running around on one of the levels, and the only way they can get down is the staircase that we're actually sat on now. So yeah, that was just a little bit weird. And sorry about the shaking, but the whole place got freezing.
So, is this how you met Tasha, by the way? Tasha Brown through this?
Yeah, I was at Shepton Prison with another friend, and we were just like going around doing what we normally do, putting like things down to try to attract ghosts. And she was there, like standing in the corner kind of thing. And she came across and chatted to us, and then we ended up like investigating together. It's
cool.
a weird. So Shepton, and obviously then me and Tasha, we've gone out and done like private investigations. We did the one last week. We've been with a group, a couple of pubs, And yeah, it's good. There were spirits behind the bar. I'll put that one in before you do.
Oh.
Sorry. But yeah, it was just like, you know, we've gone out and done a couple of things together, or we just go out and do it as a team.
Yeah. Well, we know Tasha, we've chatted to her a couple of times. She's got, I think it's 6, probably more now. I think the last time we spoke to her, she had 6 paranormal novels out there.
Yeah.
And they're based on her real life experiences.
They are, yeah. Thankfully, I've not seen one of them come to life yet. So it's
Touch wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had some pretty good stories there she was telling us about though when we had that chat with her. And yeah, that's enough to make you think twice. Is it all real or is it not? You know, because I am, like I say, very skeptical.
Yeah.
But she made it. Yeah, it sounded true anyway.
Well, I'll send you the video later on of what I sent Terry, so you can actually look at it as well. So.
Oh, excellent. You made it sound before like you were setting traps down to catch ghosts. It sounded like,
well, no, with Ghostbusters, really.
Mice or something, you know.
Who are you going to call?
Me.
Ghostbusters.
Well, Frome Paranormal, I should say, not just me. That's being...
Frome Paranormal. That's what you should be calling, yeah.
You mentioned that you work from home for KMF Radio. Yeah. Obviously, but looks of it's not studio based, is it? I know you mentioned before you do this all from your bedroom. Have you got all the kit there? It looks like a professional microphone you got there.
Yeah, I've got the microphone here, headphones, obviously, and I run off my laptop. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no mixer. There's no anything. It's just laptop, internet, and then it gets streamed somewhere, and then people can listen to it via a link.
Years ago, I used to use a program called Sam.
Sam.
I did that through my laptop when I did internet radio. But that was many moons ago. You know, did it from a spare bedroom, basically. Decent mic, set of headphones, and away you go. Yeah, it was quite easy to do once you've set.
My lights just dimmed.
There's no spooks about there, is there?
No, it's just one of them special lights that when sunset kicks in, it dims the light for some strange reason.
Okay.
Right. I wonder what had happened there. I was like, laptop gone a bit funny.
Yeah.
A bit paranormal there, Tell us about KMF. Do you have guests in for chats? Is it music based? You know, do you do a lot of talking?
KMF Radio is a community radio station, and it's based in Redruth. And it's got a nice little studio down there. Like that's down there. It's got the mixer and everything down there. And it's anybody can come in and do a radio show, as long as you've got a bit of training, obviously. But they're also doing courses, I think, down there as well, off the top of my head, that, you know, once you've done the course and you want to carry on, you can then, if you want to, go on to KMF and do a show if you want. So we're community-based. It's just a brilliant radio station to be with. You know, I've been with them now since about 2016, I think. But before that, it was Redruth Radio, and I was with them since like 2012. Yeah. So it's been a fair few years doing this now.
Does it stand for anything, the KMF?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Kerno Music Foundation.
Okay.
So obviously Kerno is another word for Cornwall, whatever it is.
Were they set up years before it or something?
No, it was straight after Redruth Radio.
Right, okay.
So something happened with Redruth Radio, and then I think about 8 months down the line, KMF Radio started up, and we tried to get all the old people to come back, and they let me back.
So how many members have you got then, and are they all home based?
I don't know how many members. I know
not members, presenters then.
Yeah.
Presenters.
Presenters. I couldn't tell how many presenters because obviously I don't listen, but it's but I do obviously my show. Mondays I think are pretty full. I think there's about 4 or 5 that do a show on a Monday off the top of my head. But we're you know, it's just one of these stations that it's just nice to be involved with because it's a nice community-based radio station.
Yeah. So how many programs do you do? I know you do the Monday. Do you do another one as well in the week? Each week,
I do 2 a week, which is a Thursday night and a Sunday night. They're from 6:30 till 9:30 in the evening. So they're 3 hours long. As you probably know yourself, Steve, you know, it's a 7-day week thing for me because on a Monday I start the playlist for Thursday. Then Tuesday I kind of put all the jingles in and everything in for like when I want to have like toilet breaks and stuff like that. Wednesday I then type it up. Thursday it's the show day. Then I have to do it all over again Friday and Saturday, ready for Sunday.
Ah, superb. Yeah, so, busy life then, eh?
Yeah. And I can happily say that not one song is repeated in a week.
I should hope not.
Yeah.
It does happen. I know it does happen quite easily. Like, what do you do in your spare time? Or is that your spare time? Is that your hobbies?
No, I go and watch football.
Well, obviously, we'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll come on to that in a minute.
I hope you've got a long time. I watch my local team, Frome. I go and watch them when they're at home. Music I like to listen to. Obviously, paranormal is another thing. It's basically, what my groups is my hobbies, really.
Right. Okay. And do you work as well?
I was the carer for my dad.
Oh, right.
But unfortunately, he got but he got put into a care home, so I'm kind of like 50-50 with the care home and dad now. So,
still
doing a bit of both.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, understand totally.
Like, tell us about some of the guests that you've had on. Yeah, I know you've had our friend, Pink Club novelist Emma Bruce on for a chat.
I have. She's been on a couple of times now, talking about her
books.
Gets around. Yes. I know there's one that you're probably dying for me to say, but I'm gonna leave that one to last.
Okay.
It's do you remember the comedian Billy Pearce in the 90s? He had like blonde, spiky hair. He was a northern, like Yorkshire boy.
Do you know what I'm thinking of? Steve Coogan. I've got his image in my mind for some reason.
Well, I had him on the show, Billy Pearce, and he was such a nice man, really nice man. I did the interview at my dad's because I had some work being done here. And obviously it was nice and quiet. And I said to Billy at the end of the interview, I said, can you just have a word with my dad? Because he used to like you back in the 90s. Yeah. And he was on the phone, or he was on the laptop with my dad for an hour talking to him.
Wow,
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And I've had Chris Amu from The Real Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been on the show. Yeah, he's been on the show. Yeah. And the one, here we go. Susie Quattro has been on my show as well.
Wow.
So,
right, tell us more if you want.
Yeah, again, how long you got?
Did she can?
Yeah, she was doing something with her parcel. As we were talking like we are now.
Stumbling in.
Yeah, she was literally like doing that with tape. And you can actually hear like the rip of the tape while she was putting it on her parcel. And she kept on talking to me and doing that at the same time. And then 1 minute she was like talking to me, and then she waved at someone, and it was like, you're not really paying attention to what I'm saying. So me being me, I just went, right, I think that's the end of the conversation now. So yeah, thank you, Susie. Bye-bye. And that was it.
That's disappointment, that.
Yeah, she has gone way down my pecking order now. To be on the show, unless if I have her again, she might be completely different. I don't know.
True, yeah.
That's a challenge for us, Terry. Let's see if we can get Susie Q on and see if we can have a chat with her.
Definitely, yeah. So tell her we banned presents, opening presents.
Yeah. Sorry, Lee. Did you have that? Do you have the interview with Stacey the other day?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, last Friday, Stacey Jackson.
How did that go?
That went really, really well. It's just we had a few dropouts with the internet every now and again, but we didn't lose nothing in the interview. But I'm going to be, obviously, I was a bit poorly last night to do last night's show, so I'm going to put Sundays on Thursdays. That means she's going to be on next week now. But I'm going to play one of her new tunes called Urgent.
Okay.
I think it's the cover of the Foreigner one or something, but it's really good. I'm also playing Flipside as well, so I'm playing 2 songs.
Didn't that just win an international award or some kind of award? I know Emma posted something or tweeted something, I should say.
Yeah.
When we chatted to her, she was she was promoting. She's written this novel. Well, it's a sort of I don't know if it's a novel fiction, but it's sort of the story of a singer going through a career. So she's hoping to get that out sometime this year.
Yeah, she said about it was going to come out later on this year. That's all she said.
Yeah.
Because I said to her at the start of it, I said, look, this is a radio program. This plays songs.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go down the author route. I'm not going to go down the fitness route. It's about your singing. And she was, talking about Stacey in the 80s, whatever it's called, and stuff like that. And we chatted about that and how Flipside got to be the theme tune to it. Yeah. And that was an interesting story. And so we went down the singing route rather than the fitness and books and everything else, really. So, because she's a busy lady.
She is. She does everything. She's got her own fashion channel. The music shows you mentioned, she's writing stuff. And and fashion as well. Did she mention a collaboration with Snoop Dogg?
I asked her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about it for a bit, and again, she was saying how lovely guy he is, and it was just, I don't want to give too much away, just in case people want to hear the interview before I play it. But no, that was a good question or good answer that she gave as well.
Yeah. Any other big guests you've had on, celebrities? Any footballers?
No, I try and also bring in like the new artists from like Cornwall and around the area.
Oh yeah, good.
So I try and bring them up as well. So I've had like people called Will. I can't remember his surname now, and he's going to kill me if he sees this. But yeah, I've had him on a couple of times with his tunes. They're quite good. The weirdest one I had though was I was in London when the Queen passed away. I wanted to go and see the flowers. So what I'd done was I went up to Leicester Square. And there was this busker, and he was really, really good. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know what? When I was coming back home, I wouldn't mind talking to him. And then I just forgot all about it.
Yeah.
And would you believe it? I found him on TikTok.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then I found out that he was on Instagram, sent him a message on Instagram, and bang, next minute he was on my show.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And he was really good, really good.
You were very lucky there, because normally you'd have to go up on the day you saw him and say, "Have you got a card, mate? Or how do we get hold of you?"
Yeah.
Once you lose it, you never find them again ever.
No, he's called he was, what was he, the Yorkshire Busker, I think his name was. But he done like George Formby songs and stuff like that, and Disney songs, but they were really good, and he was really good as well.
It turned out nice again.
Yeah, it did for me anyway.
How do you normally get hold of your guests? How do you get in touch with them?
I'm quite lucky where I got put with someone who like does like not Stacey Jackson, Susie Quattro, and some singers and like Chris and Moo.
Yeah.
Billy Pierce, I reached out myself. I think I just found him on Instagram or Twitter, and bang, I just send a message. Because at the end of the day, what's the worst they're going to say? It's just no.
True.
No.
Yeah.
Or they don't reply, which I've had loads. So, I've tried to get Fleur East, because obviously she bought a record out last week.
That's right.
And I'd love to get her on the show. So I sent her a cheeky little message saying, explain what KMF radio is, give it a bit of a sob story. And but again, I don't think she's even seen it yet. So, but you never know.
Yeah, she probably not had a chance to look at it. She does a Saturday morning radio show herself, and I bet she gets battered on her social media, with all that, and she probably doesn't see them.
Yeah,
probably gets hundreds of notifications a day, and you just don't get a chance to look.
No. But I've sent it's there for her if she sees it and she wants to come on the show. She's got the invite.
I send some out usually after I've had a couple of cans on a Saturday night, asking big stars. Feel a bit braver, and then wake up Sunday morning. No, ignored. Let's delete them.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, Stacey actually said. I said to her jokingly, I went, "Do you reckon Snoop Dogg will come on?" And she said, "Write to him. What's the worst he's going to say?"
Yeah, true.
Well, yeah, it's very true. I mean, we spoke to John Aldrich and a few other people just by speculation, or it does help that Terry's related to a former Liverpool player, like, but
did help. Yeah,
you don't ask, and you don't get, and we're both lucky enough to know a couple of celebs as well, so we've been lucky that way. So, what about our Emma? How did you meet Emma anyway?
Oh God,
I'm looking at a tweet now. She's put out live, I think, on Twitter. Yeah.
Basically, I was on a paranormal investigation with a couple of friends, and she was on watching, and she put something about her. I don't know what she put, but it was something about her book. And my friend read it out, and my ears just went, "Oh, interview." So I went, "Oh, does she want to come on my show and talk about it?" And then Justin, my friend, just went, "Oh," and she said, "Yeah." And then I think about a week or two later, we were like talking on Facebook and stuff, and then bang, she was on the show. It's a weird way of meeting, so to speak.
Yeah, unfortunately, the last time or one of the times she was coming on your show was exactly the same time as the Queen passed away.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah. Obviously that had to go, didn't it?
Yeah. And do you know what song I played at that 6:30 that night?
What?
I was listening.
Oh, you were listening? It was Queen.
Wasn't Killer Queen, was it?
I think it was I Want to Break Free.
I tuned in. Emma had asked me to tune in, so I tuned in just to have a listen, just to say I had,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had, and of course, that all happened at once. I was like, oh no, here we go.
I did try to do half an hour, but I just couldn't do it. It was just like, it was horrible. It was, I didn't think the music I picked for that show was like relevant for what happened. So I was like, no, I'm cancelling the show. So yeah, that was quite funny.
Talking about shows, Lee, I know you did have planned a marathon session. Do you want to tell us about that and how plans have changed, maybe?
Yeah, basically, I was going to do a 12-hour next month on Easter Sunday, 9:30 to 9:30. So obviously 12 hours. And I was going to do it for a charity, but they didn't correspond with me. So I had no emails from them, no telephone calls. It was just radio silence. And my head was then going, do you know what? They're not interested. So I canned that idea, but I can actually say to you now that I'm actually going to be raising money for the radio station. So the 12-hour show is back. I don't know when. It's going to be sometime in April, but it's not going to be Easter Sunday. But it's going to come back, and I'll be raising money for KMF Radio, because I did it last year and I raised £270 for the station. So hopefully I can do it again this year and raise some more money for them.
Well, that's all good for a good local cause, isn't it?
Yeah.
Helping the local community.
So make sure you get it out there, put it on all the socials.
Yeah, I'll post it as well. Yeah, retweet. Yeah.
And obviously it'll be on this channel, and we'll tweet it out there and retweet it. Yeah, of course.
And I've had a few people say to me that they would sponsor me more for KMF Radio than they would for this other charity as well. So it's actually
okay. So it worked out well then, really.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, fair enough. So come on, let's talk about the elephant in the room, West Ham United.
Yes.
Is Moyes going to stay? Is he going to go? Should he be at the helm? Are you going to win this Europa Conference League thing, whatever it is?
Do you know, I think we're going to win the Europa Pub League. I think that's ours. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I went up a couple of weeks ago to watch them play Nottingham Forest, and to be honest, there was nobody sitting around me having a go at the manager. They were all supportive, all behind the team, and I was shocked because I thought I was going to hear people like taking the mickey out of Moyes and what on and stuff like that, but didn't hear nothing of that. So I think people that want him are probably like just too scared, and they're on the keyboards and stuff like that and typing it all out and everything.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah. I want him to go. I'm not the keyboard one, but I do. I think his time's up at the club. I think he hasn't got no plan B when we start to lose, which is normal enough, like every week. It's just like, no plan B. Like yesterday, we had like that Schmacker on the bench, and he puts Cornet up front. Schmacker was 35 million quid.
Yeah,
and he's a striker, but he put Cornet on, so there was no sense in that whatsoever. So I think his time's up at West Ham.
Okay, you season ticket holder there, Lee?
No, it was just on the off chance. I don't know why, but I just really wanted to go to the West Ham Forest game. And I clicked on the website and there was tickets still available. And the ticket I got was only £35 for a Premiership match. So I thought, I'll have that.
Yeah.
And it was somebody else's season ticket. My view, I was 9 rows from the front. So it was brilliant view. It was a brilliant day because they actually won 4-0.
Yeah.
And it was just a really good atmosphere. Then obviously the week later we go lose 4-0 against Brighton. So it's like
we can't say too much about Liverpool, can we, Steve?
Yeah, no. I know it's been a bit like that recently, but yeah, it's so frustrating, isn't it? You go 1 week and you win 4-0 and then lose 4-0. But and you look back a couple of years with David Moyes, and he had a couple of decent seasons where you were up there, and actually, we were coming to play you, and it was like, yeah, this might be a bit tougher, but now you're thinking, we should roll, Well, maybe not now because we're playing a bit iffy, but teams are going to you now thinking, we can roll these over. Whereas 2 years ago, they were going, this is going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
So you had some quality players out there, and what's happened to them all? They can't have gone bad all overnight, can they?
The thing is, what people don't, obviously, if you're not a West Ham fan, you probably wouldn't know this, but at the start of the season, Stuart Pearce left the coaching squad, and somebody else left. I can't remember who the other person was. Oh, it was Alan Irvine, Sir Moyes' assistant manager. They left.
Yeah, Alan Irvine, I know Alan. Yeah.
So it all went downhill from there.
Interesting.
So,
interesting, actually.
Yeah. So it's, it is. I don't want to say too much, but I've got my own opinions on what's happened since them two left the coaching staff, and then we just went downhill from afterwards. So it's interesting but weird as well at the same time.
I remember Moyes when he was in charge of Everton. I was at one Liverpool-Everton game, and he was the only manager I saw sort of warming up with the players actually on the pitch with the tracksuits on. He was getting down doing his exercise, running up and down with them, really hands-on. But obviously that's getting back about nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah, because he's now in the centre circle just watching now with his arms folded.
Yeah, I remember when Everton took him on, and they got him from Preston, and loads of people were slagging him off then, saying, "Oh, here you go again, you're getting this manager, blah, blah." But he turned out all right. He did quite well for Everton.
Yeah.
And he actually did okay for Man United, if you think about it. The only reason he lost his job there is because they didn't make the top four. But he got them up there, and they were just hovering below that top four. Didn't make it, and in his contract was, if you don't make four, you're out. And that's the reason he left. He had to go because he didn't make top four. But I thought maybe given another season, he could have probably done all right. And then he went to West Ham, and he was successful. And I thought, he's all right, isn't he? But at the moment, you're right, it's not going well for him, I don't think.
No. As I said, I want him gone because I do think we're not going to survive the drop, unfortunately. So
yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately, and it looks like, unfortunately, again, our time is on.
Oh yeah,
now we're almost up, Terry.
We are indeed. But listen, it's been a pleasure to chat with you. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and we look forward to listen to send us the details as soon as you have them. When this marathon show is, when you set the date, and
definitely, definitely do that.
But Lee, for now, let's say thank you and take care, mate.
No, cheers. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Lee. All the best.
Thanks, bye.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers.